Alright, so I'm gonna try not to be a Debbie Downer, but we're gonna get this whole Wyatt Six thing. Uncle Howdy, um, and I was like, they already done talking about this Dexter Loomis and Rowan, and um, I don't even think I've heard the other ones to be honest. I was like, but that might also be on me. I forgot who they were at this point, but all the stuff that been flashing on TV and stuff like that and whatnot. It's one of them things that, especially with Bray gone, because even when Bray was here, because of course everybody gonna have revisiting his history, and it's like I really did love like Bray stuff too. The part I was able to see because I was like I missed some of the early portions of the actual Wyatt family and stuff like that. But we also can't I guess escape or ignore how everybody was really feeling during a lot of his stuff. That you could really like somebody without liking their stuff that they necessarily are doing, and that's how a lot of people kind of was. Um, and I guess it's one of them things that's how do you really do it nowadays is really the question because especially now that it's like how many supernatural or weird characters do we really have? And I was like the reason why I said weird characters as well too because I'm like there's really no supernatural characters anymore. I was like hell we don't really even have any weird kind of characters either. Like everybody's doing, everybody's there's like really no there's really no heels anymore, and it's like where it's like Dom, he's a heel. Drew, he's a heel now. Babyface, I would say Jay and Cody probably are like your top ones. Um, heel like women, there's Nia Jax might be your best heel. And other than that, I was like, you got a couple baby faces. You got Bianca, um, and Becky and stuff like that. Everybody, pretty much everybody's sort of just badass or just somewhere in the middle, just like man. Uh, so it's sort of cool. I sort of like that stuff, but in the world of you know this like the way that you sort of the storylines are now, where they're almost real life stuff, where it's like, you're doing stuff on Twitter, you do stuff for your IG, the interviews that the podcasts and the stuff that you have with other creators and like that's how the storylines are doing. And then we're getting more into the I was like the wrestling portion of it where it's like people like now like they're wrestling like they're putting on like hella matches. Like are you gonna see some like it don't go Uncle Howard's not gonna feud with Gunther. Like they're not gonna do anything with Gunther. He's too much of the wrestle type. I seen somebody talking about after Jay Uso got the people in France and they're doing the whole lot of phones. You know the fireflies. Jesus Christ, that I guess that's some tongue twister for me. That he said he's the Yeeter world. So now some people speculate that hey, maybe he could be Uncle Howdy and them's first one. But then, do you want to take him that route? Because I mean, while yes, this isn't Vince anymore, but we sort of seen how Fiend was with Seth Rollins, and I think it was sort of just bad. Like Seth Rollins just looked goofy as he was like over here cowering the fear and stuff like that. And it's like, yes, like he was the main champion, so you shouldn't have him there anyway. But Jay Uso, in a way, he's so over right now. You don't want to throw him in. One, that's something that's going to be completely new. We don't know how it's going to be. Maybe later on, something, maybe. But also, him still getting his footing and all that other stuff. Do you want him to be in something that's going to tie him up in a way? And then you also know the bloodline's coming up around sometime. So he's off limits. But do you all? I was like, you don't want to do. I was like, maybe you could do something. Start off like how Fiend tried to, where it was just like Jerry Lawyer. I think it was Mick Foley. I think it was it Kurt? And then it was eventually Finn. So he was like working his way up. But I was like, I don't know who's there to really like feed him to, and it looked like something if you're not going. I was like, but then again, hey, we also don't know how this is going to be. I was like, yes, there's going to be some supernatural stuff. Of course there is. But we don't know if it's going to be like supernatural spooky, or we don't know that it's like supernatural, but he has like an army of like, not the undead, but in that same mode where it's just like Uncle Howdy's a supernatural guy, but there's real people to do his bidding, I guess. I mean, look, I like all that stuff just because I'm like, it's wrestling. I'm like, it's like, I like, don't necessarily have him go further to the championship because to me that sort of just moots all his points. The same way with like Kane Undertaker, they didn't need a whole bunch of championships in order to keep their aura of who they were. But you also have to be careful. But it's just very tricky in being careful of who the people that they're going to feud and fight against that's worth something, while also not your top people. Like guess what? You could sort of do Judgment Day because you got JD and you got Dominic there that you could feed them there, and you have Finn Balor if you want to stoke something there too. But I was like, but you also got Damien that you got with the title, so that's a lot more. Like where it's like you don't want to have Judgment Day just be able to get this spooky people, especially because it's like, look at them, they got like the whole like demon thing that they're doing, not necessarily with Finn, but you get what I'm saying of like their war, and then they're gonna go and do like, then it's like they be some real spooky people or whatever. I don't know. I think it's still something. I think it's something they go figure out. I was like, we don't know any details. I just thought, I was like, that's just my mind on it. Like, could you it gotta really hit like how effective can it just be nowadays and stuff like that. But anyway, I was like, what are your thoughts or what are your hopes for it? Cause I was like I said, I'm pretty much chill with anything to where I was like, don't get me wrong, if it's not good, I'll say it. But I was like, I'm pretty chill with a lot of stuff, so it won't really bother me. I probably just think it's funny after a moment, but I know a lot of people will sour on it real quick because I was like, that's how they were doing with the Bray and LA Knight stuff, where it was just like, I wanted him back, but I was like, I was like, hey, I was like, now everybody sort of got like a different view on it. I was like, you could still not want that to happen and still also like or love the creativity of the guy and also not like what it executed. I was like, same thing with like directors and stuff like that. It's like that could be a great director, but their movie just didn't come out the right way. That's sort of how I look at it. But anyway, we'll see what goes on. I was like, we'll see what keeps on popping up and letting us know. Anyway, till then, I'm out.